So today we are going to discuss the topics of codependency, enmeshment, and the journey to reclaiming our identity after coercive control. These issues are critical to understand for anyone recovering from high control environments, so we will explore them. But before we get into it, let me introduce myself. I'm Jen Hachia, and on this channel, we explore the complexities of psychology and manipulation in both relationships and professional settings. And then we discuss it in the comments below. So if that feels interesting to you, you are welcome to subscribe. And if you are already a regular watcher, hello there. Now let's get into it. So let's start by defining two key concepts, codependency and enmeshment. While these terms are often used interchangeably, they refer to different, though related, patterns of behavior. So codependency was initially associated with substance abuse treatment, and so is defined by a drive for total surrender and a loss of self. It represents a dysfunctional way of relating to others, characterized by external focusing, self-sacrifice, interpersonal conflict, control, and emotional constraint. So in essence, codependency involves excessive dependence on others for self-worth and validation. Enmeshment, on the other hand, is more about boundaries within relationships. So it refers to a situation where personal identity is blurred, leading to a diminished sense of self and impaired autonomy. So this phenomenon is marked by confusion over one's separateness from others and disregard for personal thoughts and needs and emotional suppression as well. And breaking free from enmeshment can feel like quitting a drug cold turkey, because the pain of ending such a deeply entangled relationship can feel overwhelming and often feel like a death and a rebirth simultaneously. And this transition involves not just mourning the loss, but also reconstructing a sense of self or building it from nothing. So after ending a controlling relationship, you might initially struggle with feelings of vulnerability and a sort of self-inflicted blindness. Like you are emerging a new world and you're feeling raw, exposed, and somehow get full of potential. And I've gone through this before in the past in a long-term relationship that ended. And during this period, I forced myself to engage in various activities to reconnect with myself and help me shape my identity. I took drastic steps to disrupt this toxic pattern and embrace new experiences. And this is what is very much needed to break that cycle. Personally, I traveled, I explored new hobbies, and made physical changes like cutting my hair. I had very, very, very long hair. And at the time, I just, there's this saying, when you're ready to do a wild life change, you cut your hair. I don't recommend this to everyone, of course, but I was just like in the hairdresser, of course. Did not mess my own hair up. But this sort of taking drastic steps to disrupt toxic patterns can be crucial to creating emotional distance from the old self that went through these terribly abusive experiences and this new self that you are creating for yourself. And there is research that supports this, actually. So Guillory and Gruenfeld, their work on fake it till you make it phenomenon suggests that acting powerful and taking proactive steps can lead to genuine feelings of empowerment. So fake it till you make it can be true. Yeah, so by engaging in new experiences and pushing your boundaries, you can begin to reclaim your identity and build a new self-esteem. Maybe in your past relationships, you were perhaps accused of being controlling or being dependent, but the reality may be a lot different than that. For example, people are sometimes, when they're very vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable, or emotionally needy, and I'm not saying this in a condescending way, I'm saying this as, touch-starved or emotionally starved for love, we can easily put ourselves in a position where we are groomed into becoming codependent. And codependency is often just a mask to what is actually a desire for closeness and connection with someone else. It can lead to suffocation and a loss of self if not addressed directly and head on. In recovering from such dynamics, it's important to differentiate between healthy relational needs and those that symbolize and hint at deeper issues such as codependency and enmeshment. And as Bacon and Conway discuss, understanding and addressing these patterns is essential for personal growth and healing. Just remember that recovering from a codependency and enmeshment cycle involves, first of all, understanding these concepts and then actively working to reclaim your identity and realizing that you can be self-sufficient and that you should aim towards connection with others, yes, but in a more interdependent way and not so much a codependent way. And we will discuss interdependency on a future video, so stay tuned for that as well. But just know that healing from these toxic ways of attaching ourselves to someone is a process. And it's a beautiful process of self-discovery and empowerment as well, where you will be breaking free from toxic patterns and from a toxic cycle, which eventually will help you build a stronger and more empowered you. So thank you for joining me today. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed and you want to watch more of this kind of content. And feel free also to discuss your experiences and thoughts in the comments. You do not have to agree with me. I encourage always healthy discussion as long as we remain respectful. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!